สวัสดีค่ะ You're now listening to ZhaoBook podcast. A mother and her son trek across an endless desert, wearing special skin-tight suits to dissipate heat and recycle moistures. The travelers aren't worried about dying of thirst. Their fears are much greater. The pair try to walk without rhythm, letting the vibrations of their footsteps blend into the shifting sand. But soon, the sound of the desert is drowned out by the louder hissing. As the mound of sand races towards them, the pair's unnatural gait turns into a sprint. The two clamber into a nearby rock face as the sandworm 400 meters long bursts from the desert floor. Hello there, and welcome to ZhaoBook Podcast Season 2. Your old gal Shania is back with one of the most classic sci-fi novels, Dune, by Frank Herbert. Speaking of sci-fi novels, what do you think of? Endless space, advanced technology, or an organism that doesn't live in our world? If these three components are mentioned, you will recognize it immediately. Dune also has these, but you should cut out an advanced technology one. It doesn't have it. It's all about human and normal technology. But halt! Don't ignore this book yet. There is something interesting in Dune. If not, there will be no David Lynch 1984 and Denis Villeneuve's 2021. An upcoming 2023 Dune Part 2 movie adaptation, including an upcoming game adaptation like Dune Awakening 2. And if Dune is boring, there will be no praise for a classic sci-fi novel, and it won't be an inspiration of an epic movie series such as Star Wars, sweetie. That's enough. Let's talk about this book. Dune isn't good due to only about a desert planet, a giant sandworm, and a special suit called Stew Suit. There's something more. Politics, philosophy, and religion is also included. The later three is another important key which makes Dune a classic sci-fi and the beginning of other sci-fi novels. Okay, I'm done elaborating further. Let's dig it deeper. Guaranteed spoiler alert. It's all about getting known into factions and the story brief of a book. Alright, start. Dune takes 20,000 years in the far future. Humans have ruled various planets with feudal system. They have stopped using advanced technology like AI after eliminating them at the event of Butlerian Jihad. Noble houses were competing for the planet ownership under the charter of the Emperor of House Corino. There are two main noble houses. First, the protagonist House Atreides, led by Duke Leto Atreides, who ruled with virtue, and the antagonist House Harkonnen, led by Baron Vladimir Harkonnen, who ruled with savagery. There are also other factions, a cult of supernatural women, or witches, that is, the Bene Gesserit. They have a superpower called the Voice, which is a sound manipulation system that orders the hearer to follow the speaker's command, and the power to control their birth. They can control their birth whether they're a boy or a girl. And the last faction, the Fremen, which is the local of the planet Arrakis. They have blue eyes, which are called the Eyes of Ebod, and they valued water. Speaking of Arrakis, let's dig a little deeper. Arrakis, or Dune, is a desert planet in which there were no plantation, but there was a creature called Chai-Hulud, or the sandworm. This planet has a resource called spice, or spice melange, which is the most valuable resource in this universe. Lastly, a plot brief. Emperor Padishah, the supreme leader of all the planets, had a decree for Duke Leto Atreides, a noble royal family, to leave Caladan and rule a new planet called Arrakis, or Dune. At this planet, Duke Leto was compelled to follow the decree. Even though Arrakis is a planet full of the most valuable resource, spice melange, which can create fortune to his house and his people. But he knew that the decree to move to Arrakis is a vicious plan of Baron Vladimir of the House Harkonnen, his arch nemesis. He knew that there would be a trap, and it was dangerous than ever before. Witness an epic Arrakis battle and a 15-year-old teenager named Paul Atreides, son of Duke Leto Atreides, who fell in the midst of a vicious plan to kill his father and his house. What is the plan which he shall face? Who could be trusted? Who was the traitor? Could he survive from this house massacre? Find out in the book. Now I shall leave with a great quote from this book. I must not fear. Fear is the mind killer. Fear is the little death that brings total obliteration. I will face my fear. I will permit it to pass over me and through me. And when it has gone past, I will turn the inner eye to see its path. Where the fear has gone, there will be nothing. Only I will remain.